and welcome to this week's WoW Flash. This is my weekly news bit where I talk about anything of interest that's come up from the last 7 days, Warcraft related. And of course, the main thing is we've had the second stage of patch 7.3 rollout with Mockery, the next zone, and invasions. And also, just as a bit of a kick up the arse, we had the Argosian Reach World Quest. So the second faction had its emissary cache on reset day, at least in Europe. And looking around, it's like, no world quests. Thanks, Blizzard. Great. Turns out that you have to complete the storyline in Mockery to unlock those world quests. And Blizz on the forums were going, yeah, what's the problem? You just have to do Mockery. It's like, yes. Juggling around work and raiding. Of course, I could have done it tonight. Fortunately, I managed to do it last night because our raid night, my guild is on Avatar and I'm a Ret Paladin. Next one, there's going to be a little bit of a change, a hotfix coming through. It might be out now. It might not be coming out till like over the weekend. But hotfix does imply that it'll be coming out as soon as they can do it, not just when the next reset comes out. And it's to do with the Argos Waystone currency. They've sort of realised that actually the currency itself serves no purpose. All the currency, so it's what you get from invasions. There's this like quest, daily quest that says, oh, get so many Waystones and we'll give you some shiny things. And they've come to the conclusion, actually, that's a bit nonsensical. You might as well just be told to go and complete 3 invasions. So that's what they're going to do now. There's also going to increase the cap of the Veiled Argonite from 1,500, which is what it is at the moment, to 2,000. So you don't have to spend as much as quickly, I suppose. Not that there is anything that is super expensive, so I'm not really sure. Although I have frequently found myself, if not too careful, coming to the cap, but you know, you just go and spend something and then you back again because there's nothing really expensive. So I'm not sure. Is that, I mean, they've described it as a small quality of life thing. I think if you just spend as soon as you've got enough to spend something on, it's probably okay. But you know, I'm not going to criticise. It's not a bad thing, and that'll be fine. That was on the North American forums. I look forward to it being copied and pasted onto the European forums sometime next month. One thing that caught my eye on the blue tracker, not really news this one, but I couldn't help laughing, was something on a naming policy, and someone posted, what's wrong with this name? The name of their character was 2 genders. I'm not quite sure why that would be against naming policy. Probably Blizzard erring on the side of political correction, and oh no, someone might be offended. I have known people in the past being flagged for a name change because of some bizarre reason. I remember one time, and I can't remember the name, I wish I could remember the name. It was totally unoffensive. There was nothing wrong with it at all. But they got flagged needing a name change. And, you know, we looked it up on the Armory, and there was people on dozens of realms that had the same name. And yet they were being flagged for it. I don't know whether everyone else simultaneously was being flagged as well. It was really weird. But what happened to this poor guy is he says that he was booted from a raid. Says, I was in a raid about to pull a boss and I got booted. So I did, in the moment, just to get back into the game, he created another name. He couldn't think what to call it, so he just called it 2 Dangers again, but with 2 O's. And the GM's going, it's not how it works. We're going to give you a 24-hour ban. Little bit harsh. Interesting thing. The thing that made me laugh the most, actually, I'm not laughing at this poor guy. I actually feel a great deal of sympathy for them. I think this is one of those situations, especially when an actual person is involved here. This is not an automatic flag now. This is an actual person involved. It's like, this seems very heavy-handed. You know, you've not only kicked them from a raid, they've just had to do something really quickly, but slapping them with a 24-hour ban at the point at which they're explaining what actually happened, which seems perfectly reasonable to me. But the GM's name was Salam Kroms. And I'm thinking, I know salam in Arabic means peace. And I was thinking, Krom, that's Norse for something not very nice, isn't it? Sort of looked up, yes, it means crooked. So this GM's name is Crooked Peace. So I suppose we should have expected some heavy-handed treatment here. It was a bit forewarned. Next thing, there was a bit of a bug. There's been a few bugs with 7.3, but there was quite a good one, I suppose, in theory. Only it sort of raised my spirits up and then crushed them underfoot again. So, when 7.3 went live, we all got our automatic artifact knowledge increase. We all went to 41. And we're going to get a new one each week. So that's not how it worked out. On Monday, we all got one. North America and EU at the same time. Very confusing. In fact, it was someone on an American, or someone on the North American realms, I should say, who was actually pointing it out to me and said, I've got 42. And I said, well, I haven't. I've still got 41. Then I looked in game and went, oh, actually, I have it as well. And so, yeah, I thought at this point, what are they doing here? Are they just going to let it be every 5 days? But I thought, no, that doesn't make sense. Because for the Americans, it would still be a 6-day gap there. Or do they just want it to come out on the same day for EU and NA? It was one of those things. Turns out it was a bug. So Blizzard devs tweeted, this was a bug. Artifact knowledge should increase with the weekly reset for each region. So that's what's going to happen now. So it's not going to be until the new reset, which will mean an extended period of time on the current one until we sort of catch up there. So we're not going to get another one on Monday. We're not going to get one 5 days after we got the last one, which would be like tomorrow for me. Well, for everyone, let's be honest. And Saturday is usually 5 days after Monday all over the world, if I think about it now. But it's not. It's going to be Tuesday for North American realms, and it's going to be Wednesday for European realms. So if you were planning on saving something up for a magical Monday, then that's not going to happen. Next one. Now, I'm going to cover this in more detail in a separate video this weekend in a vlog, because it's absolutely hilarious, this to and fro. But essentially, the issue of flying has been broached. Now, I've talked about this in my stream. I 100% don't think, no matter how big a backlash there is, that Blizzard technically could have flying on Argos. It's simply, I think, impossible. And I'll probably go over the reasons for that. But at the same time, Blizzard are being roundly criticised for the fact, as the people in this forum are pointing out, that we've waited ages for the people who really want flying, and to be honest, really wanted it at level cap, like it has been for many expansions. I myself, as people will know, I'm on the fence of I see advantages in not having flying in the game at all, but I'm okay with this compromise. So that's where I sit personally. But there are an awful lot of people who are not thinking that terms. They want their flying. So from their point of view, so 7.2 came out. You had to do a short amount of more achievements to get flying if you'd done all the achievements up to that point. So 7.2 came out, we got flying. 7.3 came out, it's got taken away. But this, because of course on the new zones, which is where we're now intended to spend most of our time, there was no flying. We still have flying on the Broken Shore, we still have flying on the Broken Isles in general, but not on Argos, which is where we're supposed to be spending our time. But this to and fro was hilarious. It was very much, it was a typical internet argument between two people, each of whom thinks the other one has a turnip for a brain. It was that sort of argument. But of course, only one of them can be right, if at all. So yeah, I'm going to cover that one in more detail. But, you know, that has started. I am going to be super curious this time next week to see what sort of forum backlash there is, if any, on the Netherlight Crucible. It's one of those things I was saying on my stream before. I've said it several times. I don't want to say there's definitely going to be one, but I sort of will be surprised if there is not. Next one. Everyone has gone Lucid Nightmare mad. Absolutely mad. People go, oh, have you done it yet? Have you done it? No, I'm not a mount collector. It's not even a nice mount. And at the moment, I am really, really busy with all sorts of things at the moment. So I'm not going to go. I can't remember ever really spending any significant period of time. Like, I'll get mounts from raids and stuff. You know, I like that because that's associated with the content I like to do. But I don't really go hunting for mounts other than that. So it's the sort of thing, maybe I'll do it at some point. There's lots of things I plan to do before the end of Legion, but a lot of them I may not do, and this may be one of them, because I don't even like it. And sort of final bit of news here, it's not really this week's news, I'm a bit behind on this one. This was announced at the end of August, but I've only just seen it. Apparently there's a competition, an art competition. So what Blizzard are doing, I'll put a link in the description below as well, if I remember, hopefully I will. It says, of course on the North American forums, we're looking for your best Argus-themed artwork, either with traditional media or via digital art. First place, 3 qualified entrants will be chosen and receive 1 World of Warcraft Legion Collector's Edition signed by the World of Warcraft art team and 1 Starseeker pet and mount bundle. Runners-up 10 qualified entrants will be chosen to receive 1 Starseeker pet and mount bundle. Entries can be submitted during the period of August the 30th, sorry, I'm a bit late, through September the 30th this year to blah, 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 blah as an email. Community contests, na@blizzard.com. Each submission must be a high-resolution JPEG file, yada, yada, yada. Arty stuff that I don't understand. My only comment on this one is the price. You would think, when you look at the amount of fan art, a lot of it is very good quality. An awful lot of it isn't, but there's quite a lot of very good quality stuff. First place, you get a copy of the game and a pet and mount. Really? I would have thought first place would be a commission to do some artwork for, say, you know, some content that's coming up. Obviously not super secret content because, you know, you'd have to tie them into a but, you know, something for, you know, some content that's been announced but upcoming. I would have thought that would be a good prize. You know, and actually pay them for that commission. But anyway, there it is. If anyone's interested in a copy of the game that you already play, then I suppose just for the kudos, you get plenty of kudos, I suppose, wouldn't you? Then, of course, that's in the description below. I will definitely remember to put it in there. And that's pretty much it for the news for this week. Just remember the streaming with the autumn schedule. It's 5 days, so it's going to be Monday to Thursday inclusive from 7 PM UK time. 3 of those will be raids. But, of course, if I'm not raiding at the time, I will go off and do World Quest, that sort of thing. But I will still be there to chat, whatever. Tuesday is the Tuesday Talk. That's always at 7 PM UK time as well. And then Saturday afternoons, as well as the 5th day, from 3 PM UK time, will be streaming just general gameplay, whatever it happens to be. It's not always World of Warcraft. It has been for a little while now. And it's going to be again tomorrow, if I'm honest. And also next week, there's going to be a slight change. Next week, it'll be a shorter stream on the Saturday afternoon because I shall be getting ready for the next live Retribution Q&A. That won't be tomorrow. That'll be the following week. I'm trying to look at the date. That'll be the 16th of September. The live Rec Q&A, that'll be in the evening from my point of view, 7 PM UK time in 8 days' time. So thanks very much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.